Yeah, I think I'm just going to quickly take you a short journey of Saint-Gobain and then talk a little bit about the new facilities. And so you're familiar that we were founded in 1665, almost around the same time when Chennai was founded. Chennai was, for the modern Chennai, or at the time what was called Madras, was founded in 1639. Taj Mahal in 1643 and Saint-Gobain in 1665. And the King Palais de Versailles, you will find that, and that was our first order, 1678. So today, large company, nearly 40 billion euro or 3.25 lakh crores. One of the top 100 companies in the index on innovation, in the Fortune 500, somewhere in the 200s. And a lot of what we do is for the construction and the building industry. And we have really 180,000 employees, and you know that it's already 354 years that we've been. And we are present in 64 countries. One of the interesting things about Saint-Gobain is that innovation is at the heart of Saint-Gobain. 1 out of 4 products that we make today, including in India, did not exist 5 years ago. And we have several research centers. You'll be happy to know, I think some of you were there for the 2016 January when we inaugurated our Saint-Gobain Research Park. And it's primarily meant for hot and humid climates and affordable housing. We have more than 100 plus researchers and technician staff, another 40 or 50. And you'll be happy to know that after IIT Madras, we are one of the largest patent holders from Chennai. So Saint-Gobain India has been investing. We began our journey here with a greenfield investment in 2000. That was our first major investment. It was in 2000 we put the. When you look at Saint-Gobain, actually, and the other 4 manufacturers would include global. What is exported out of India for architectural glazing comes out of our facilities. So therefore, we really have a very high share of exports compared. You know all about France, but today is about being in Tamil Nadu. I think Tamil Nadu in India in the glass businesses, nearly 3,400 crores have come from Tamil Nadu, so which is really 60% of our investments have been in Tamil Nadu. And we have several products. We have in their cabins of Chennai Metro, they use fire-rated glazing, so that if there is a fire in the subway, we would be able to do that. And the capacity is determined by the multiple of the capacity. All I can say is, in India we have for every 2 tons of capacity in India, we have more than 1 tons of capacity, and this contributes to that. Thank you.
When you say large,
Remember there are 3 plants.
Okay.
The first plant is a float plant, which makes a raw glass. It gets converted, it's coated in the magnetron. A good part of the magnetron is for exports. Then we also make the advanced architectural products like fire safety and double glaze unit and bulletproof, where there's an even higher percentage is exported. Added value products, value-added products, then commodity from India. It makes sense.
you
Slow down. Thing which is happening. One is the growth the rate of the construction industry. We saw, I mean, to be honest, we saw the first 9 months the construction industry was doing better than we thought. But definitely in the last 3 months, we have seen some kind of a subtle deceleration in large format buildings. But the residential sector is really is some area where we are also focusing because we have a lot of unique solutions, not just glass. For instance, in the residence today, we provide the glazing, the windows are the glazing. We also provide the ceilings through our gypsum, gyprock facilities where we have very strong position. And then we are the largest player there in that. Then we provide solutions for the interiors, partitions and glass and gypsum partitions, shower partitions and other things. So we have a suite of solutions in the real estate space. And we are not seeing our slowdown impacting us because there is also an increase in the per capita consumption. So even if there is a, let's say that the industry is decelerating, they're using more of our products, whether it's glass or gypsum or solutions products, they're using more of it. So it's difficult for us to separate these two out. And you know that in real estate and construction, there is not high quality data yet available.
And this is what, from a supplier point of view, this is what we're trying to bring to India across the products that we are involved in today.
So this 700 crore investment, where will it go exactly?
There would be, today it is stopping at some level, therefore ultimate consumer is not necessarily benefiting. So I'm sure that in the coming years, it may not happen so soon. In the coming years, real estate will come under GST. But from our cost point of view, one of the most important challenge that we have is natural gas is not under GST. I think the government has been talking about it. Almost everyone in the government is keen to have natural gas coming under GST. This would be a very major benefit to the entire industry, not just us, because once we move to natural gas, which will be by end of this year, then this cascading of the natural gas taxation will stop. Okay. Having said that, this is being talked about. The GST Council is open and other thing, but this requires some more deliberation among the GST Council because some of the states are benefiting a lot by the current VAT system, so they have to be given alternatives. So once that happens, things. So therefore, two things: real estate GST and LNG GST are the two things which will make a big difference. This and ultimately, for instance, when GST came, the thing was 31%. Excise duty plus VAT together was 31%. It's now come to 18%. I think July 1st, 1 a.m., we started invoicing at 18%.
Spreading our risk in various geographic areas, but from that standpoint, India has been receiving in terms of investments in the last 10 years more than its share, and we are, as I said, one of the countries who are growing the fastest.
Itself. I don't mean our products, I mean regionally, and that's the way we should view India.
Approximate.
I mean, at the rate, if you just use the same data in the last 5 years, and we want to grow our sales at that, you have to invest at a higher rate than that in 10 years. So you just divide that number, 7,000, by 10, you get 70, that kind of number. But it gives you an idea of the kind of investment that will be required. And some years it will be less, some years it will be more. It's a large, I mean, if we want to grow, we'll have to invest. And each of these kind of things, Santanam shared.
Correct. So basically, Navy is an open cast mine, as you all know. Their primary job is to take out the lignite And what is interesting is on top of the lignite layer, a few meters is sand which can be used for glass. So Leveli Lignite Corporation has agreed to mine it more selectively, and the waste sand they will dedicate it to companies such as us. And so we have developed a unique beneficiation process where we can take that waste sand, which is mixed with lignite, mixed with several contaminants, mostly physical contaminants, and we are able to do a multi-stage beneficiation process. We already have such a process. We have a plant very close to Neyveli, just close to, just on the outskirts of Neyveli, we have a plant. So what we now need is Tamil Nadu government and the Neyveli and us to sit and agree on the logistics and the licensing and other things, because royalty, licensing, logistics issues have to be solved. I think the Tamil Nadu government is very, very supportive. Neyveli is also supportive. Very soon, I'm sure that we'll have a positive news on that. But this is very important because the quantum of sand available there is massive.